The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Horror, History, and Hauntings Library Podcast. This is the place where the fire is warm, the lights are low, and the next chapter is waiting. So slip into your comfiest jammies, like I did, grab your favorite beverage of choosing. For me, it's some tea tonight, and settle into your favorite chair by the fire. Because tonight, we're opening the pages of another story. Stories of mystery, stories of suspense, and sometimes stories that linger long after the final page. So dim the lights, get comfortable, and let the story begin. We are continuing the story tonight with The Choice by Wendy Cook. Come on, computer. There we go. And if you're interested in purchasing her book, I'm going to try to get the computer to like me. Here is her barcode. And just pause the video or take a quick snap. There you go. I think that should take you to her author page where you can order the book. So we made it to page 29. Before we get started, I do have to take these off because unfortunately these are my distance glasses and I need to put on my magnifiers, so bear with me. Costume change. Getting old. It's part. There we go. And we made it to the next chapter is called Flight 777. Caleb. Trying to get organized a little bit. Let's get our fire up. So just bear with me while I switch that over. Everybody seemed to like the campfire last episode, so we are going to continue with that. Take that off. There we go. And let me know if the fire is too loud. I can turn it down. Okay? Flight 777, Caleb. As soon as we settle in on the plane, the whole thing feels like a bad idea. I'm sitting between Avery and Iris. We are all in the back row, analyzing everyone towards the front. The energy around us feels off. Okay, so you are thinking all these things are congregating down in Mexico? We know they are, Caleb. I watch as Marcus gives his sister Avery and Iris a good old fashioned hug. They briefly reunite, whispering and chatting away. I hit something. I watch as Marcus goes back up to his seat towards the front. It's a quick meet and greet. All of us know that the distractors are on board, but we're not going to make a scene. I watch as Iris pulls her silvery hair back into a ponytail. She's trying her best to blend in, but it's impossible. Her kind of beauty never truly will. She's too illuminating. They all are. You see up ahead, Iris says. There we go. You see up ahead, Iris says. Where? I'm not sure where she's pointing at. Our brother Marcus is up there, along with someone you might know. She already is one of them. Avery, do you see that? Avery looks up ahead, studying everyone in front of us. Please, do you even have to ask? Rows 5 and 7. Marcus knows he's already sitting next to them. Now, please tell me again, why Mexico? That's their rallying point. Maybe they're planning a big powwow. I don't know, Caleb. You should be the one telling us. You're almost one of them, you know. Iris, knock it off. I look ahead. In between some guy and their brother was a mop of yellowish blonde hair. I knew who it was. Cassie. What is she doing here? Why is she on this plane? I whisper. She's one of them, Caleb. We've been watching her. She's here with a few others. How? We all watch as Marcus turns around and gives us a wink. The two distractors he's sitting by are likely to be goners. I turn towards Iris. If I'm almost one of them, what's stopping him from killing me? We've told him your situation, Caleb. He won't. But how? Telepathy. Goodness. Who are you people? I can't help but laugh. I think we've established that we're not people, Avery interjects. We're kind of like distractors in that we do have powers, but they are for good, and we would never think of harming humans, like ever. We mind our own business, if that makes sense. It does, thanks. Humans are too boring to be bothered with anyway. I watch as Avery, the more stable of the two, looks up, a flash of worry on her face. What's wrong? Oh no. What? Asked Iris. I look around. Okay, what's oh no? In the background, we can hear the heavy grinding of metal. The plane feels like it's about to stall. That's not good. Iris breaks into my thoughts. There's something going on with this plane, she whispers. Oh crap, Avery says. What's going on with the plane? I look around confused. This can't be happening. I notice the two sisters communicate with each other telepathically. I wish I could hear them. Seriously, please tell me, what's going on? How did we miss that? Says Iris. Avery lets out a sigh. Well, this isn't what I expected. It's because we're not used to this world. We haven't even acclimated yet. If we had another day, we would have sensed it. Iris looks out the window angry. Since what? I hate being out of the loop. We underestimated them, didn't we? Says Iris. I guess so. We did make a mistake here. She turns to me. Okay, we can figure this out. This might be a good thing. They're still only part monster, but this will take care of it. We'll help you. Help me with what? My words hang in the air. And flight 777, 3 minutes prior, Marcus. Let's check chat. Greetings from rainy Oregon. Hi, Michelle. Welcome in. Happy Friday the 13th to you also. I love Friday the 13th. I have great memories of being a child. The girls would get together and we'd watch horror movies all night and eat a bunch of junk food. So the Friday the 13th has always been a good thing for me. So I still to this day, if I have the chance, watch a horror movie. And Adam's here. Hey, Adam. I hope you're enjoying the story. Let's continue on the next chapter, shall we? Flight 777, 30 minutes prior, Marcus. Can I get you a drink, sir? The attendant's supple breasts and angelic voice are enough to knock me off my perch. I'm here for one thing only, and that's to kill distractors. There are two of them sitting in front of me right now. I could smell them way back at the terminal, but I couldn't do anything. Not in front of humans. The female one is middle-aged, and the dead thing next to her smells so awful. I almost puke in my airbag. She says his name is Sardine something. Well, that sure fits. He smells like roadkill. Why'd I get stuck in this crap situation is beyond me. Christ, I just want to find my brother Aaron. I have to admit, it's nice to see my sisters again, Avery and Iris. They're sitting in the back of the plane. I want to take care of them, but the fighter in me is taking over. I lean into the conversation in front of me. They're all a bunch of distractors. I want to waste them all right now. I wish I could, but I need to wait. How did they ever get on this plane smelling like that? Oh yeah, that's right. Humans can't pick up on things like we can. I keep forgetting that. I lean in and catch their conversation. Oh, doll, I can't wait to get there. I'm so looking forward to the warmth and the sunshine. Yes, ma'am, I feel the same. The smelly one is freshly turned. Good. He'll be easy to waste. The plane is at a cruising altitude, and the flight attendants are busy handing out drinks and snacks. I notice that most of the people around me have settled in, ready to nap. I could never understand that. How can anyone ever sleep on a plane? But there's a lot of things about this world and the humans in it that I just don't get. I'm only here because of Aaron and his bidding, and also on the advice of my sisters. There's a gentleman sitting catty-cornered to me, much of his face buried in a book. He could be a potential problem, but I'll worry about that later. Funny, the woman in front of me hasn't a clue of who I am. She should. She's the loudmouth that invited me onto her pontoon boat last summer. She was so eager for me to get on her boat, and yet she didn't know a thing about me. I just happened to be walking around with the traveler. Damn, where the hell is he? But that's another matter. I watch as the curvy flight attendant walks closer in my direction. The snack cart is in front of her, but I can tell she's so my type. Well, hello there, sweetheart. I'm sitting behind them, watching and listening. I lean in toward the loudmouth, peering into their conversation. Would you like something to drink, ma'am? Cassie gives her a peculiar look. You're goddamn right I do, sugar. Got any Tititos? I watch as the flight attendant forces a smile. The empty cup in her hands, it's a sweet hint of a smile, and I immediately want her to be closer to her. Reel it in, Marcus. She must be sick of helping passengers like her all day long. I can't imagine having to be pleasant to a bunch of over-entitled drunks. The moment calls for a drink, something to mellow me out a bit. I could use a bit of a calm. I look around at all these adult-sized brats, dripping with their money in excess, and this attendant has to serve them like she's some servant. What an insult. They should be serving her. I do apologize, ma'am, but we are out of vodka at the moment. Oh boy, this poor flight attendant is about to get an earful. I watch as Cassie looks over at her stinky companion, Mr. Sardine. She's about to get mouthy. If she does, I swear to God, I'm going to kill her. To hell with the consequences. Oh, good Lord, how is it to keep your barge stocked in this plane? I mean, Jesus. The flight attendant just smiles. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Could I interest you in another kind of drink? Yes, you can. I'm not sitting in this metal casket without any alcohol. Got any gin? Yes, we do. Well, then, a gin and tonic. And please tell me you have some limes. A gin and tonic isn't the same without the goddamn limes. Oh, please have limes to shut this woman up. She's the first distractor I'm going to eliminate as soon as the opportunity presents itself. I watch as the attendant grabs the plastic cup full of pre-cut limes with her perfectly manicured hands. She placed one in the cup and starts to pour, her breasts rising softly up and down as she does. It's like visual poetry watching her. I could watch her all day. Good Lord in heaven, I'm in trouble. I might have to see if I can get lucky before I get rid of that distractor woman. I take a deep breath and listen in. Cassie leans into the attendant, whispering, make sure it's a holiday pour. Oh, yes, ma'am. God bless this girl that makes delivering drinks an art form. What I would do for a little female companionship. I watch as she edges closer my way. Well, hello there, beautiful. Drink, sir? I'm feeling playful. Well, my dear, what kind of drink do you think I'll like? I watch as a naughty smile crosses her lips. She looks game. If you don't mind me saying, you seem like the whiskey type. Oh, she has me pegged. Honey, I'll be any whiskey you need. You would be right, my dear. I watch as she carefully unscrews the mini bottle. There she goes again with those pretty little fingers. I want to suck each one of them. They look so nice, wrapped around my cup. Stop it, Marcus. Okay, I should focus. This little rendezvous will have to live in memory for now. That doesn't mean I couldn't ask for a number. Maybe our flight will have a layover or something. Wouldn't that be nice? As she gives me my drink, along with her sly little smile, I settle in. I imagine what it would be like with the two of us, and forget the fact that I have no legroom in the smelly plane. A little doze of a daydream never hurt. I'm starting to feel the odd vibrations in my seat. I peer over the seat next to me. It's empty and shaking in its place. That's odd. That, that can't be normal. I glance towards the back of the plane. I can see my sisters. I see the look on their faces, and it's all the confirmation I need. Something is wrong with the plane. I think we're going down. Shit. This isn't going to end well. That ends that chapter. And then the author herself, Wendy, is in the audience. Love the background sparkles and campfire. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that. We're going to continue on. And this is our author is one of her favorite characters because we discussed this before. Her name is Dandelion Mary. A week prior, I'm carrying a heavy box down a steep trail of stairs. Not the smartest thing for me to do, but I just got an order in for all this shampoo and I need to get it to my salon. This box is about to topple out of my hands. It's not as light as I thought. My home has that kind of steps that make you feel like you're about to fall. Uneven, narrow, and lots of them. I'm on my last step heading down when I hear a knock from upstairs. Of course. As I set down the box and race back up, I catch my foot on the jagged edge of stair. Shit! I've been wanting to smooth that edge out with a hammer all week. I just could never find the time. Now my toes throbbing like it's been stepped on by an elephant. Whoever is at my door, it better be good. As I limp on my way into the garage, I see a shadowy figure through the screen door. I immediately regret running upstairs with so much vigor. Kendall Hadley. Her face is pressed up against the garage window. Her eyes have that manic, determined look on them. She's already made an impressive lipstick stain down the middle of it. It's probably the first thing my husband will see when he gets home from work. I swear she does these things on purpose. Hey, Mary, how are you? My toe is on fire, and I can't wait to wipe off that cheap lip gloss with Windex. What's up? I was hoping you could squeeze me in, Jackson, for a haircut before the banquet tonight. How could I forget that goddamn banquet? These things happen every year and turns all the moms into raving lunatics. You would think one was preparing for Jesus Christ and the Last Supper. Normally, I could try and fit in a walk-in, but not today. I'm pretty booked out today, Kendall. She makes an exaggerated pout. I know, but could you spare, like, I don't know, 15 minutes? It's just a little trim. I have a high maintenance client coming in this afternoon with very specific instructions on how she wants her hair. Hers is the kind that sucks up dye like there's no tomorrow. I always need a good amount of product. And if I squeeze in her son, I'll be even more stressed for time. 15 minutes, Kendall, that's it. Well, there goes my sanity. Oh, perfect. By the way, did you ever find that salsa recipe? All the ladies at church just raved about it. Of course, they would like my grandmother's recipe. It's been in my family for a long time, and I've perfected it over the years. You could say I've even taken it to a whole other level. Why would I just give out the recipe just because? Oh, it's around here somewhere, Kendall. I'll have to get back to you on that. Well, okay. Just make sure you have it ready in time for the picnic. Yeah, sure thing, Kendall. Great. Well, I'll be back here at 5. Alrighty. I watch as she runs with glee back out to her car. Well, that's another win for Kendall. It occurred to me that this woman hasn't heard the word no much in her life. I often wonder if certain people are placed in my life just to make me feel miserable. We have Aw, you're so sweet. She said you have the best voice for my characters. Thank you. That's the biggest compliment anybody could give me, honestly. Dandelion Mary. I've had my hands in the dish sink now for the past hour. I can't bear to leave it. The hot water feels so good on my aching joints. Right now, they are on fire. Too many hours of bending over and standing on my feet. This is my favorite time of day, despite the achiness. A quick trip away from schedules, rules, and reality. And my reality lately is an acquired taste. I enjoy looking out my window. It's my favorite one in the whole house. It sits above the kitchen sink, in perfect view of the backyard. This is great for watching the summer storms roll in. It takes me back to when I was a teenager, without schedules or responsibility. My friends and I could spend an entire day just lying around, soaking up the sun, listening to Casey Kasem's top 40 hits from the boombox, slathering on the baby oil and overdoing it with the sun in. These endless teenager days of summer are fond memories for me. A wide open path lay ahead of us, a future ripe with possibilities. All we had to do was find our own path. Lately, I've been wondering about this path. I'm done with appointments for the day, and I didn't have any this evening, thank God. I'm glad I scheduled it that way. I'm in need of a break, and it's only Tuesday. Too early in the week to celebrate any sort of weekend. Sometimes when I look out the window, I can see my neighbor Alice. She's the one in her household who takes the trash to the end of her driveway. She usually ends up skipping, which is hilarious. I'm watching her now. She's still skipping her way back up to the house like there's a present there waiting for her. Seeing that she's an adult, it strikes me that she could be mentally ill. I really don't have any friends here. I used to, in my youth. I don't know where they've all gone, but they've moved on. Some got pregnant, others moved out of state, and others just became totally immersed in their lives of their own. I get it, but it does get lonely. Lately, I've been having the worst stomach aches. It's been meaning to go I've been meaning to go to the doctor, but I keep putting it off. I know I'm coming to an important crossroads in my life, and however scary, I'm going to go through with it. I can't live this way anymore. I need a change, and in the worst way. And it's not about stomach pains or the fact I feel invisible to my family, my husband, or even this town. It's not even about Kendall Hadley. I just want something different for my life. A do over. There's nothing left for me here. I've poured myself into everything. I know because of it, I feel like I've robbed myself of something. I am feeling the call of other pursuits. That call comes to me late at night when I'm laying in bed, staring at the imperfections of the ceiling. I'm starting to think about the opportunities that I've missed living here. I think about how things are and how they should be. Sometimes I feel like the ceiling itself, riddled with holes and stains. I think how nice it would be just to wipe it all away, start out fresh and new. I wonder if this is all there is. I'm embarrassed to admit that I've felt this way for a while. Maybe there's something wrong with me. It's always a possibility, but I wouldn't know. I don't have friends to share this with. My life has been taken up by motherhood. This role is all consuming. I don't know who I am anymore. It doesn't leave room for much else. Let's face it, who leaves their family? Selfish people do. Bad people do. The kind of people who are narcissists. Do I really want to be associated with all that? And here I am, determined to become one of them. I haven't entirely made up my mind. Not yet, anyway. I realize I should be thankful, full of gratitude. But gratitude is far reaching these days. I feel like all of mine has seeped its way down the sink, mingling with the hair dyes and floating around with other things that didn't make sense in my life. Here's an example of a typical day. My son has his friend named Tyler. He likes to open our fridge and sneak out food. He's over here right now. By the time he leaves, I'll be cleaning up his little pig trail of a mess. He's been doing this for years. Does his mother do anything about it? Nope. I understand the desperation of hunger, and even though his manners are atrocious, I keep feeding him. I try to keep my anger in check. I've tried walking over to his house. It would be nice to meet his mother. She's not the one who skips her way to the mailbox. But when I visit, she's never home either. She never answers the door. I've just taken an homemade pie out of the oven. It's cooling right now, and the rich smells of apples and cinnamon is permeating throughout the house. I love it when the house smells this way. It makes me think that all things will work out no matter what. I can't wait to have a piece after dinner, my mouth watering just thinking about it. But that will have to wait. I've committed to giving Kendall Hadley's kid a haircut. She dropped him off on time, thank goodness, and I cut his hair. Meanwhile, upstairs, my apple pie is cooling. Seeing my pie sitting on the counter was too much temptation for Jackson's friend. While I'm cutting hair downstairs, he's upstairs, shoveling his hands into it. When I walk upstairs, I caught him red-handed. I was so angry. I bit my lip. I hope he burned himself on that popping hot pie filling. That little shit. I don't know where my son goes when these things happen, but that's beyond me too. I know kids do dumb things, but why wouldn't he say anything? That's the last straw. Both kiddos are in my kitchen now. Tyler can't look me in the eye, but the drippy evidence is all down the front of his shirt. My son seems oblivious to all this. Can Tyler stay for dinner? My son asks. Are you kidding me? What's wrong, Mom? What happened to my pie? Tyler stands there, looking sheepish and embarrassed. It's very rude of you, Tyler. I spent a long time making that. I'm not too happy with you right now. I think it's best that you leave. I watch as he runs out. I glance over to my son. He's mortified. Really, Mom? What the hell? I can't believe it. Jackson, where were you? How can you just stand by when he does these things? Why not tell him to stop? I went outside to get your mail. I look at the coffee table and see a small stack of letters. Well, bills is more like it. Good Lord, parenting is difficult. He gives me a sour look and runs out the door after Tyler. None of this feels good. This selfless act of motherhood. I want to be rid of it, both with myself and the situation. I seem to get this wrong every time. I turn my attention to the cupboard, wondering what I could make for dinner. For tonight, it requires zero thinking. I see a box of mac and cheese in the corner of the cupboard. Perfect. Less than what the maid on the Brady Bunch would do, but better than nothing. I have no qualms about making boxed mac and cheese. I had it often as a child. My son likes it too. One time when I had a few of Jackson's friends over for lunch, that's what I made. And boy, I didn't hear the end of it. Later on in the evening, I get a phone call from a very worried parent. It went a little something like this. Hello? Yes? Is this Jackson's mom? The pitch in her voice told me right away I was in for it. Yes, I'm his mother. I just want to tell you now. I just want to let you know that we are very picky about what Jackson eats. It's no big deal or anything. I just try to have fresh food as much as possible. That box stuff is just filled with so much garbage, especially boxed mac and cheese. It's not healthy. I suppose a response was required. I just didn't have one. It's just that Tyler has food allergies and issues. That's a big fat lie. Tyler wasn't allergic to any of it. He never got a reaction, and if he did, I certainly wouldn't have served it to him. If she is so worried, why is he always over here for dinner? And I've been doing this for how many years? I'm about to lose it. What a big fat ball of BS. She's in mid sentence when I hang up the phone. Well, slam it is more like it. I could hear the lingering ring as I shoved the phone receiver back into place. Oh, that felt fantastic. I can't tolerate people like her anymore. Something is shifting inside me. Call it the new and approved Mary. I didn't mention that her son desecrated my pie. My bad. As I fill up the pot of water for the macaroni, I hear an odd rustling noise coming from the other side of the room. I stopped to turn around, but didn't see anything. I turned back towards the stove and put in the macaroni. That's when I hear it again. Weird. It could be a mouse. Sometimes they find their way in, especially at night when it gets chilly. I make a mental note to pick up some mouse traps the next time I'm at the store. Mary. I jump. Did someone just say my name? This time I slowly turn around. I'm afraid of what I might see. My eyes fix on the heating vent on the other side of the kitchen. Did it come from there? I walk over and gently lower myself to a kneeling position. As I get eye level with the register, I squint through the cobwebs and grime. Not sure what I'm looking for. Maybe a mouse? God, I'm losing it. I get back up and walk back to the stove. I'm still here, Mary. I'm so startled I almost tip over the now boiling water on the stove. That would have been bad. I look back at the heating vent, positive that's where I heard it. The only thing I hear now is a pot of boiling noodles. It sounds like it's about to spill over. I need to get that. Except, I just heard someone say my name from a heating vent. I feel stunned. My brain put on a brief hold. Get out the milk and butter. As I'm reaching into the fridge, I hear it again. Mary. I jump the words, almost dropping my gallon of milk. Who are you? I yell back. Aren't you tired, Mary? I set down the milk on the counter, walked toward the laundry room, looking around. It's small in there, and there's no good way of getting in unless someone crawls through the window. It's too small for that anyway. It's just not possible. I quickly walk outside and frantically look down our drive. The house is small from this view. The paint is peeling and there's missing shingles everywhere. It doesn't even look like the house has been lived in. How do I not notice that before? As I start my short walk back inside, I see that one of my neighbors is out there with me. She glances over and she grabs her trash can. She gives me one of her dirty looks. Well, two can play at that game. I give her a grin and stick up my middle finger. Take that. She picks up her pace as she walks back to her house, looking appalled. Good, I hope she is. You just met the new Mary, and this Mary doesn't take any of your shit. Happy birthday! It's an impulsive thing to do, but like slamming the phone, it felt pretty damn fantastic. I swear I can feel everyone's hatred around me. They don't realize that I've had this gift, this knowing. It feels more like a curse. I'm so tired of being in the space, but mentally and otherwise, it's stifling. Where are my people? I walk back inside and shut the door, and a second later is when I hear it. Mary. What? Now I'm more angry than afraid. I just saw that. Felt kind of good, didn't it? I'm puzzled at the voice. It's a male. There's an alluring come hither quality to it. I can't help but smile. Yes, it did. Damn good. You're outside? No. But where are you? I whisper. You can say I'm omnipresent. This is unsettling, but in a strange, exciting way. Why do you keep saying my name? Because I want to make sure I have your full attention. Well, he sure has it. Who are you? Consider me a friend. Okay. Strange doesn't cover it. This haunting voice, he sounds older than me, but it could also be one of the neighbor's kids playing a joke. I swear if that's the case, I'm going to lose it. Do I sound like the neighbor kid playing a joke? Okay, he just heard my thoughts. How is that possible? You sound like someone that I don't know. In my world, anything is possible. I'm someone who knows your situation, Mary. I don't like being made fun of. I would never do that to you. I really want to believe this, but how could I? This voice was saying all the right things, but still could be a joke. And I've never heard of the saying, it's too good to be true, then it isn't. Please know that I would never do nothing of the sort. I know you haven't been your real self in quite a while, but I have your best interest at heart. Please know that. How could he? I've been here this whole time. Oh, I've been here this whole time waiting for you. Waiting for me? Where? I know that you just walked outside, thinking that I could be one of your no good neighbors, that I was playing a joke, that I was making fun of you. I do think that, but how could he know? I've been here the whole time, watching and listening, waiting. And believe me, the things happening to you are just not fair. I've been witness to everything, and I know that you are very deep, deep down. Good, Mary. And they don't deserve you. No one here does. But how come I can't see you? Where are you? I'm everywhere. I know all things. And believe me, I'm as real as the floor that you're standing on. Whoever is talking to me, he must be in the house. A shiver runs down through me as I think of someone lurking around the corner. But I don't see anyone. It's just me and the dumb heating vent. I'm everywhere. I shudder. Okay. Well, if you're everywhere, you would know the color of my nail polish. At least make it hard. It's in the lovely shade of wine. My stomach drops. Okay, he's in the house. Whatever this is. You should know I would never hurt you. You know that, don't you? I jump again at his response. This is nuts. What do you want? I yell out. I half expect the voice to ask me for a haircut. I hold my breath, hoping that's not the case. I can take you away from all this if you'll let me. All you have to do is say yes. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? But nice things didn't happen, at least not to me. Oh, but they do. Mary. What is your name? The voice doesn't answer, not right away. And for a few odd moments, I start to feel a little panic. And just when I think the conversation is over, I hear it again. I'm exactly what you're looking for and just what you need. I'm going to start teaching you how to believe in yourself, even when others don't, even when you don't. A surge of doubt creeps in. Why can't he show himself? If he's real, he would reveal himself in some way. I would be able to see him. People have not given you your proper chance, Mary. But I am. Tell you what, I'm going to give you some time to think about it. I know this is overwhelming. Think about my words. Let it soak into your being. I will come back at the same time tomorrow. That's a promise. And hopefully by then, you have come to a decision. Tomorrow? Really? Yes, Mary. In the meantime, pack your bags. We're going on a little trip. A little trip away. But what about a strange elation falls over me? When was the last time I've ever taken a trip? The excitement is short lived, however, when I start going over in my mind how much things would cost. Everything always does. And I don't have enough for any of it. I never do. Where we are going, Mary, will not require money. I laugh out loud. What an absurd idea. How could we not need money? Nothing's free. I felt silly saying it out loud, but I still didn't know who or what I was talking to. I can see who's behind the voice. I can't see who's behind the voice, but I can feel him. What kind of place doesn't need money? The very best kind, Mary. I can't imagine. Everything will be taken care of. Well, isn't that music to my ears? What a wonderful notion. But how could I leave my child? I know you've thought about it, leaving your family, but really, don't you think it's time? I mean, Jerry can take care of himself, don't you think? Yes, Jerry could. I never doubt that, but I would be leaving Jackson. Oh, Jackson will be fine. Besides, Jerry will take care of him. Jerry is the best father, and I have no doubt he could take over the parenting. Even though I've been doing the brunt of it for the last 13 years, he would be more than okay. And really, I could always come back for a visit. That's true, Mary. You always could. Just being able to go on a trip seems fantastic. The schedules between Jerry and I never gelled well together, and finances were never there either. God, where's my suitcase? I remember having one in the back bedroom down in the basement. I quickly run downstairs, turning on the light. Where the hell is the chair? I see a gray folded chair in the corner and carry it to the closet. I climb the 2 steps up, feeling my way around the top of the closet shelf. Please be here. My hands eager to grasp any piece of it. My ticket out. I soon find it and pull it down with such force it comes toppling down on top of me. It knocks me off the chair and onto the floor. I lie there for a moment, smelling the musty piece of luggage that has never been used. I feel drunk and dazed as I let this new reality sink in. This could work. My arms are wrapped around the luggage like it's the most wonderful thing I've ever owned. Because right now it is. I am giddy as I go over in my mind the entire conversation. For the first time in my life, I feel heard. I'm eager to turn the page. I like hearing his sweet voice. I want to hear it again. I already know what I'm going to do. I'm leaving Neilsville. I will follow this ghost of a voice, this magical voice that knows things it shouldn't. I'd follow it anywhere. All right, that's the end of that chapter. Let's check chat real quick. Yes, Christina's awesome at getting into character for books. Thank you, Adam. I try. Dandelion Mary was a fun character, right? Yes, she's a fun character. Poor soul. Who hasn't felt a little unseen and like depressed and just want an escape? I think everybody has at one point. Joy said, I like how you read the characters. Good job. Thank you, Joy. I appreciate that so much. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we can get through maybe a couple more chapters tonight. I'm going to try to get through as much as I can. This chapter is titled Mavis. Mavis is fun too. I haven't been to a hospital in decades. I try to avoid it at all costs. First of all, I don't need society's version of medication. Good Lord, it's so muddled with poison. I don't know how any human can manage having it in their bodies, much less welcome it on a regular basis. I'm a hormonal, middle-aged woman with a touch of the supernatural. You would think some of these qualities would have overcome all my hormonal crap. Not so much. Since the humans like to label things, I would categorize myself as a witch. However, I'd like to think myself more of the lines of a mystical goddess. Well, that might be a stretch. A witch is fine, I guess. But I'm not in the normal way that people think of witches. I'm more of a modern version. I don't cast spells, especially dark ones. There are karmatic repercussions for that. I'm not ugly either. Well, I don't have any warts that I know of, and I'm not half bad with makeup on, but I do own a broomstick and I love riding it. Even if it's only for emergencies. I don't ride it during the day, and as far as I know, no one has seen me on it. But I can tell you the rush of riding a broomstick never gets old. But back in society's version of medicine, my body repels it. Full of chemicals, toxins, and impurities I don't even want to lend credence to. I suppose if I were just human, I could see the benefit. What they really need to do is to take a good look at what's going on around them. Open their eyes. Most illnesses are caused by their mind refusing to let go of terrible events, hostile environments. Doing this is the worst thing. It makes the body go into a state of shock and disrepair. These feelings get absorbed into the body, you see. And there you have it, a full-blown manifested illness. I've seen this scenario play out hundreds of times. But alas, that would be too simple. And humans don't like simple. They complicate the hell out of things. So much so it makes my head spin. And that's precisely why I stay away from them. It's shocking how little time it took my town of Neilsville to start falling apart. Whatever force is trying to claim it, it is strong. Right now, as I walk up to the hospital steps, I notice a line of crows perched together along the telephone wire. I've been watching them for the last few weeks. They've been doing this a lot. I can talk to birds, but these don't talk to me. But they know not to cross me. I know yet who is orchestrating this madness, but by God, I will find out. As I get to the front doors of the hospital, I feel the twinge of regret that I haven't done this before. It's been more than time, and I should have been paying more attention. I'm not very socially responsible, it's not very socially responsible of me. I'm starting to feel bad for the humans around here. They don't stand a chance against these things. Margie and I have never been close, but that's going to change. I like I think I'd like to help the humans. Lord knows they could use it. I hesitate before entering the hospital. I scan myself, a spiritual raincoat, if you will. An extra level of protection wouldn't hurt. I don't trust any of these things. I can't wait to see my sister. As soon as I walk in, I notice a problem. The girl at the front desk has clearly been turned. Next one is Scout. The way you say the name Mary is scary good. Thank you. Oh, and there's Al. I love this book. Yeah, it's a wonderful book. Okay, let's learn about Scout. I feel like I've been under some sort of surveillance from the outside world. The scratching has stopped, and whoever was doing it has left. Penny and the traveler had quite the stash of food in their canning room downstairs. It's what I've been living on for the past few months. Thank God. If it wasn't for this place, I wouldn't have made it this far. It's almost like they were planning for something like this. Maybe he knew. I'm just grateful their can opener works. But lordy, I've had enough peas and carrots to last me a lifetime. The traveler did like his venison, which is good, although a little too gamey for my taste. But the protein has kept me going, which I appreciate. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm afraid I'll run into one of those things. I imagine that the traveler and Margie are up at the hospital in Rhinefield. That is, if they haven't died. I feel so helpless and alone. I remember the night of the fire. I felt so useless, sitting there at the river's edge like an idiot, trying to console them. But how do you console people who are dying? Boy, when things happen around here, they happen quick. I don't even want to think about what was flying around in the sky. They looked like ghosts, but there were so many of them. I was so petrified I couldn't move. And Brooke is gone. Lord knows what happened to her. And Cassie was acting funny last week. I saw her. For all I know, she's already killed Lyle and ate him for breakfast. She would do it in the most cunning way, too. I can almost see it. Cassie in the kitchen, chopping him up into little bite-sized pieces, mixing up with her scrambled eggs. Oh, darling, you taste so good. My life, why can't it just be normal? I'm not asking for a lot here, just the ability to be able to live it without getting killed by these weird distractor things. Makes me almost want to drive my butt back to Florida, as horrible as that's been. I don't know if I'm coming or going anymore. Well, that's not true. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still in this cabin. But first, I have to get to the hospital. I know if the traveler and Margie are still alive. I wish Penny and the traveler were drinkers. I still can't get the image of the traveler out of my mind. How horrible he looked the night of the fire. I'll never forget how his skin looked hanging off his arms, like laundry on a clothesline. He was a deflated version of himself, and it was so wrong. A powerful being incapacitated, and I was no help either. I felt sorry for the EMTs that carried him out. And poor Margie, I could hear her groaning the whole time. I sure hope she pulls through. And you know what the worst of it is? I'm terrified these things will come busting in here while I'm asleep, just like Ethel did in the middle of the night. Some demon version of her, except that bitch was for real. Real enough to scratch the hell out of my arms. After everything I've been through, what if I wake up to one of those things trying to eat my brain when I'm half asleep? Everything around here is twisted and backwards. It's the worst kind of trouble. I need backup. Here are a few truths I need to face. No one is coming to bail me out. Situation normal. That's been my whole life. I'm used to it. If I end up getting killed in the process, I'm going to make sure I take at least one of them down with me. I'm scrappy enough to do so, too. I can still smell the traveler's cologne throughout the house. It gives me comfort. It makes me feel like he's with me in some way. I sure hope he comes back. I still can't believe that Penny died in the accident. and how quick it was. Geez, when the Lord wants you, you go. It's weird to think that her body is still laying out there in the woods, decaying. I'm going to look through their closet. I need to find a weapon. I see a couple of daggers, a bow and arrow, and another pistol. For being a supreme being, the traveler sure has his surplus of weapons. I'm going to need everything I can find. I have to get to a grocery store. I've been delaying that little trip for a while now, but there's gas in the car and I need to eat. I'll bring a pistol with me. It's just Penny's pissant of a car, but so be it. So that was Scout. And then we're going to go back into Dandelion Mary. I've packed my one and only piece of luggage, and it didn't take long at all. It's strange to know that this is my last day in this house. My role here as wife and mother is slipping away. I feel it dwindling down with each sip of my tea. As I look around the room, I glance over at the violet covered wallpaper that graced this hallway for decades. I used to love that pattern. I'm the one that picked it out. It was simple and elegant, but that was another time. Whatever appeal it once had is long gone. It reminds me a little of myself, a smaller version of me, a painful reminder of how I've been living, a pale little flower that sits and waits, and with each day becoming more invisible. I'm starting to feel the weight of my decision, the casting away of the old me. I'm glad to be done with it, frankly. That part of me can just stay with this house. The new me is moving on to better things. It feels so freeing, I can't even explain, and Jerry will find someone else. I know he will. They'll snatch him up like a blue light special at Kmart. And everything that I've called my home, everything that is mine, in essence, will become hers. The teacup in my hands, for instance. As much as I've enjoyed it, it doesn't feel like mine. Not anymore. It already feels like it's hers. I wonder what Jerry will do with my things. He'll probably burn it all on a bonfire. He'll be so mad because he never saw this coming. I made sure of it. I guess I can't really blame him. This form of vacancy has been brewing in me for years. Harsh words, I know, but this wasn't a decision made in haste. I've been preparing. It was more of a slow burn, a calculated kind of rot. Call it years of being unfulfilled. Whether this is true reality of mine or not, this is what I've felt. But I don't want to think about Jerry. My new life is coming, and he will be here in an hour. Avalone. When he first spoke of his name, it conjured up things that were fun and romantic. It made me think about exotic vacations tucked away in another part of the world. I had another dream about him last night. He came into my consciousness quite suddenly, telling me to be ready and that he would be coming. I know he's the voice at the heating vent, and he knows me. I've never been so sure about something. When he first appeared in my dream, he was this dark, vapor like mist. It felt like a long time before I could see anything, and then he just came into form. He was tall and his features were blurry, but the colors in the dream were so rich and vivid. I've never dreamed like that before, and if I had, I would surely remember it. When I awoke, it felt like part of him was still with me, lingering. Even as the edge of my dream were fading, I could tell he had done things to me. I'm completely taken by him now. There's no going back. I haven't felt this alive in decades. Just the mere thought of him has me catching my breath. He made me feel more alive than I ever have. This overwhelming feeling of desire. I can't wait till it gets, I can't wait till until he gets here. I glance down at my watch. If he's on time, he'll be here in about 45 minutes. Please, Avalone, don't be late. He tells me he wants a future. He says we'll explore this world together, that he'll show me all the places worth going. We will travel to the best vineyards, experience all the culture, taste all the wine, and do all the things. I can't tell you how good it feels to have something fun to look forward to. I can't remember the last time that happened. And now I will spend the last hour in my house being productive. Leave with a bang. But first, I have to do something that's been gnawing at me for the last couple of days. Before I leave Neilsville for good, I'm going to pay a little visit to my dingbat of a neighbor, Tyler's mom. Her son, the one that inhales my food and tears through my house like a Wizard of Oz tornado. The one that plowed through my apple pie. The only They only live a couple doors down. I look at the clock on my wall. Do I have time? I'll make time. It's kind of a funny thinking that it's the apple pie that sent me over the edge. Not that I'm over the edge or anything. I walk out the door with the empty tin plate in my hand. I'll be back in time for my little rendezvous with my Mr. Dark and Mysterious. I'll be back before he even pulls into the driveway. Dandelion Mary. Let's see. How long is this one? Okay, that's only 2 pages. We'll try to get through them real quick. If you guys don't mind. I gotta get a drink. I might read for a little bit. Dandelion Mary. I'm carrying the stupid pie tin in my hands and getting more confident with each step. However, I didn't think about what I was going to say. I have 30 minutes before Avalon arrives. There's time. As I walk up the porch steps, I notice visible signs of neglect. The yard and the lawn look like they haven't seen a mower in quite a while. I give a hard knock on the front porch. There's a rip down the middle of the screen. The edges of it catches my hand. I hear heavy footfalls coming to the door. She's actually home? I'm startled to see her. She peers out the doorway, giving me a confused look. I force out a greeting. Hi! Her eyes and bathrobe are the same mix of color. Pink, bloodshot, and dirty. I try and ignore all that. I need to talk to you about Tyler. She puts her hands on her hips. What about him? Her voice is different from what it sounded like on the phone, and she smells like a rotten sandwich. I try to ignore this as I spill out the words. He's been over at my house a lot. Her eyes become accusing. And I've been feeding him, I say. Um, Excuse me? You feed him? I'm taken aback by her manner. I almost forget what I'm about to say. I have for months. Do you not recall our conversation last week? You yelled at me for feeding him box mac and cheese. She doesn't say anything. She only stares. Her energy's off. Yesterday, he ate my apple pie that I took out of the oven. Well, he pretty much inhaled it. He didn't bother asking or anything, and I had an appointment with a client downstairs. I just left it on the counter to cool, and she stops me mid-sentence. I'm sorry, why are you here? I watch as the dark smirk plays across her face. And how do you know that it was Tyler who ate it? Did she really just ask that? Well, for starters, the evidence was all down his shirt. She purses her lips, crosses her arms across her chest. Down his shirt? The evidence was all down her shirt, she says. I take a step back as a wave of rotten sandwich invades my space. As she turns to leave, I do something stupid. I grab her by the arm. I don't know why. I just want her to listen. Hear me out. That's the least she could do. Hey, what's wrong with you? She gives me a harsh look, and it looks like she's about to spit on me. Her eyes narrow. Oh, so you're the one. I have no idea what she means. I'm the one what? You're the one who likes to sleep around. It's hard to comprehend these words. First of all, it's not true. It's an absurd accusation. I never in my life slept around on Jerry. Ever. Jerry is the only person I've slept with in my last 15 years of marriage. And that's the God's honest truth. Who's saying otherwise? Who says that? I asked in horror. I can't imagine who would say that. No one around here even knows me. She faces towards the neighborhood, pointing her way out the door. Only everyone? I feel an immediate chill go up my spine. I instantly want to throw up. I take a step to steady myself on her counter. Everyone thinks I sleep around? How could they? How could they think that? Well, it's not true. It's the only thing I can say. Were they really saying that? Were the neighbors really saying that? Is that the reason for all the cold glances and the dirty looks? I have a sudden wave of dizziness. I shouldn't have come here. I don't know if she is saying anything more to me. If she is, I'm not hearing it. I'm sorry, I gotta go. Everyone knows. I can't be here in this ridiculous house with this ridiculous family with its rotten deck and occupants. Why did I bother? And what time is it? I can't see my watch. On the numbers on it read fuzzy. I can't miss Avalon. I shouldn't have come. As I turn to leave, I feel tingly sensations throughout my body. Fainting right now would be so bad. Hang on, at least until you get outside. The feeling travels up my leg. Meanwhile, by some miracle, my ears start working again. I notice her in her kitchen. She's opening and closing her kitchen drawers like a maniac. What is she looking for? What happens next is a blur. Mavis. As I walk down the hallway, I can detect the dreary state of the occupants. Lots of patients are sick and dying here. Just as long as it's not Margie, I can't help it, but I need to have another chance with her. I have to make this right. As I walk up the stairs, I get a sense of where she is. I detect her presence on the seventh floor. I make my way quickly through the main doors towards the elevators on the right. I can't believe how much it smells here. The stench of death is everywhere. I can almost see its outline floating down the hallway. It's probably from the morgue at the bottom floor. There isn't enough room for them all. Sometimes I wish I didn't have these abilities. The staff doesn't notice me, which is good. I get in the elevator, which is occupied with 3 other people. I haven't done this sort of thing in years. Someone standing next to me is snapping their gum. God, how do they love to smack them in the face? Settle down, Mavis. The elevator door soon opens, and I know that Margie is just a couple rooms away. Michael, aka the Traveler. The nurse is due back here any moment, and I'm not ready. I look around trying to find anything I can pull off and wear. I look in the small closet. Maybe they kept my clothes in there. But then I remember my clothes had to be cut off me. You were burned, remember? How am I going to get clothes? I walk into the bathroom and notice a doorway to another room. I walk in and see a man asleep on the bed. What are the odds that he's my size? I snoop around in his closet and notice a pair of jeans and a shirt folded neatly in a pile. It looks as if it was waiting just for me. What luck! I grab them and lock the bathroom door. They fit a little loose, but it's better than nothing. Scout. As soon as I park my car in the main lot of the hospital, I feel all my nerves dwindling away. I just have to convince them that I need some medicine. I need to know what happened to Margie and the Traveler. Hopefully, I will find them here. It would be so good to see them. I sit in my seat a little bit longer, mustering up the courage to leave the car. What if Cassie comes running out of behind a tree somewhere? I still think she's going to pop out of nowhere and try to kill me. I have the prick's pistol in the passenger seat, just in case. If she comes at me, I swear I'm going to lose it. I love her, but damn. I don't want to end up becoming one of those things, and that's exactly what she is. I look around the parking lot as to make my way up the stairs quickly to the hospital. So far, so good. As soon as I walk into the lobby, I notice the lady at the front desk. She's sitting behind an enormous glass cage of windows. Her fingers are absurdly long, even with longish fingernails. Her skin is unnaturally white. Her eyes cold and icy. God, please let me get through this. If I run into one of these things in an elevator, I'll probably die more of fright than anything. I just want to find my friends. All right. I think we're going to stop there for the night. Uh, and we're on page 69. Nice. It seems like a good place to stop. So let's close the book. Check chat. All right. And close our fire. I hope you're enjoying this story as much as I am. And that brings us to the end of tonight's chapter here on the Horror History and Haunting Library podcast. But remember, the fire's still warm, the lights are still low, and the next chapter is always waiting. Until next time, keep the fire burning, keep the stories close, and we'll see you in the next chapter. Good night, everyone.